I'm going back to my courses, and I'll also show you the second one. This is called American Literature 1, and that's created, it's again interdisciplinary, but basically this is English and literature now. So it's teaching the language through literature. It is based on a very well-known book, Beloved, by Toni Morrison. Toni Morrison also got a Nobel Prize for Literature for this book. So in this course, the way it is structured, it's very similar, but they have first of all the meeting room up here. It's the same like I showed you earlier. So they have the meeting room and they can always meet here if they want. They have the two dictionaries again right on top here, the top of the page, so they can easily find them all the time. In this case, and because this is a language course, there are more questions and problems, and there are features like forum and chatting. So here, for example, is a place where they can write any problems they're facing. So this is the general forum. And then it's in units again. The first unit gives information about the author. And then the next part, and that's another feature I'd like to show you about H5P and how it is used. We can use it to create timelines. This is a powerful tool because it has lots of different uses. So this is an example of creating a timeline. And timeline is easy to use because they can see the information here. They can click on each one if they want, but they can also click on the arrows, and they are given some information about the book, when it was published, some more about it, and so they can see the most important information included in the course based on what I wanted them to learn. Okay, I'm going back. So then there is a video, like we said before in the previous course, questions about the video. They have the option here to answer the questions, and they will find the questions here, as you can see, but then they have to answer the questions on a Word document, save them on their PCs or any other device they may have, and then upload them here for the teacher to see and grade. There is an answer key which is hidden from students, of course, but it's just for convenience purposes. There is another video. That's the kind of interactive video like the one we saw earlier. So this is again with H5P. And it automatically starts. As I said earlier, when it starts playing, it will stop at points where there is a question for them to answer. Okay, so here is word to do, word filling to do, sorry, and they can check. So here they may write the word, for example. And if it's correct, it goes like this, and then they can continue. I don't know if it can go a little bit faster. So here's the next one. Okay, so similar type of exercise. And let's see if you can see the next one. Okay. And here. And this type of exercise again, where they have to choose the one that they believe is correct. They have the option to hear the word also. And this is very interesting, an interesting feature in language learning. And so that's how it goes. So then I'm going on. There are several things one can do. For example, uploading here, I have uploaded the front and the back covers of the book because I wanted them to predict certain things. there is this discussion tool where they can discuss, it's like chatting. Here is like a form, they can predict the plot and they can write a short response to this task. Summary of the plot of the book, again, it's the simple video, and they have to simply answer these two questions by writing in short answers with this one. And then the platform also allows me to upload full pages of the book, because I only want them to read specific pages. It's not possible for them to read everything, but it's very interesting because I can upload the page, just take a picture of it and upload it, and then I can add vocabulary work here. These are words that come from the text. They have to look them up in the dictionary, which is at the top of the page, as I showed earlier. So I'll see if it opens quickly, simply to show you the way it is. It's a simple vocabulary exercise for students, like
Vicky,
it is showing the previous one, I know, but because it's still open.
Students, Vicky, have access to the platform.
The students, I didn't hear your question, sorry.
Do they have access in the platform?
Yes, they do. They have access to the platform. That's how they can also upload their work. So what I had for them here, this exercise, for example, I don't need to enable editing that now. I think everybody understands. So this is a vocabulary exercise. They save it on their computer, and then what they have to do is upload it. So they do have access, and they have their own passwords. It's very simple, especially if somebody has a Gmail. With a Gmail, you can easily do this, log in very easily. And of course, they have to submit their work. And then I see the participants here. I see how many have submitted. In this case, 3 people so far have submitted. And I can also grade their submissions. So that's how it works with all submissions. It's like assignments that they have to do, and there is some work for them to upload. Okay.
Did you find any other tools in the platform, Vicky?
I'll show you the tools right afterwards. Okay. So I think here, for example, that's a chat again, and in this one, this is in progress. This is something that is going on. It hasn't finished, so this is a course in progress. Vocabulary cards, which I have included in this one. I think now in this case I have included more complex vocabulary cards, so I have a link to this Quizlet tool, because this is much more playful and more interesting maybe for vocabulary learning. But basically the presentation works in the same way. Here you can also have photos, and so you can do a lot of them. You can go back as many times as you want. For example, you see this word, you see the meaning, you see the photo, and this tool also has a lot of other features, like ways for them to learn, to write, to spell. So these are very different. They have to choose, and so they can practice in many different ways. Okay.
Is a tool of the platform, Vicky, Quizlet?
No, this is not a tool of the platform, but the platform allows me also to create my own content and to include it by incorporating the link. So this is also very useful, because this means that the platform has a lot of tools, but also allows you to use your own tools, which is important because there are so many tools nowadays, and they are useful. Okay, so that's all I want to show you here. Now I want to show you how you can add tools. You have this Edit On button up here, and by clicking on it, now it is on, so I can edit practically anything. I can edit the title, I can edit the content, I can edit the tools that I want. I can add or remove tools, maybe I don't want them anymore. Every time I want to add something, I have this button here, which opened after I clicked on edit. So here it says add an activity or resource. If I click on this, I am given an array of tools that are included in the platform. So the NOC/PLOP or the multi-party meeting we'll see it earlier. It's the same thing basically. So it's the meeting room I showed you. The H5P interactive content. If I click on it, then automatically it presents information about how this can be used. And by adding, it means that I can add a new activity. So by adding, actually, I have access to a lot of the activities I showed you earlier and many more. And every time I can have the description of the tool here, so I can choose the one I want. For NOC/PLOP, it says that it's the interactive part. Assignment, it's like I told you earlier that they can save the Word document, and then if I do it as an assignment, they can upload it there. The chat, where they can talk anytime they want to discuss something. There are other features as well, many of them. If I just want to mention the ones I have used in this course, the forum I told you, you can create a glossary as a language teacher here. I showed you the multi-party meeting, that was again the virtual room. There can be a questionnaire, a quiz. The CellCont lectures is the synchronized lectures with video that we showed in the first course. There is a survey tool, of course, wiki and so on. And also when it says resources, it means that you can add a book, a file, folder. You can simply add a URL like the ones I did with the video. All the videos are included with URLs and so on. So by clicking on add, you can add anything you want. But first, of course, as I said, you can see information about what this is. Okay, so now I'm going to cancel. And as I said, I can practically click on anything and edit this anytime I want. And also if I have hidden activities, like this is hidden from students, as I showed you earlier, by editing it, I can reveal it to students. And that's all. And then I have to remember to go back and switch to normal mode so that I don't lose anything. And that's all that I have to show you about this. Let me stop
all of you
sharing. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed and at least you understood how this goes and how you can create content on the Up2You platform.
And I hope that we convinced Vicky, all the participants of the Up2You project. That
well, the more you can use it, the more you use it, actually, the easier it becomes. So the first time it may seem a little bit complicated because it includes so many tools, but then second time it's automatically much faster and easier, as I said.
Okay. Thank you very much for listening us.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for listening to us.
Hope you enjoyed our presentation. Bye-bye from Athens, Greece.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye from all of us.